Personally, I believe that the South Carolina election recently was less a referendum on who should be the GOP nominee as it was a referendum on who's beginning to carry the voice, the establishment or the grassroots. And as I said before, it's gotten real busy. I came here tonight to let you know that what you are doing is in fact making a difference. Now, when I put that group together, I invited about 40 people to lunch. The wife and I said, well, you know, we can write a check to a candidate, but let's put our money where it's really going to do some work. Buy some barbecue and chicken. Invite these people from all over the state to come in and have lunch. Out of the 40 people I invited, about 10 of them immediately said, you're foolish, you're naive, it's been tried before. And you know, the best thing that'll make me motivated is somebody tell me I can't do something. Out of the 30 people that did come, and I was quite candid with them, I'm not offering you a plan. I'm trying to put the right talent around the table to come up with a plan of how we can set a framework for these groups to work together. And the concept was it's like a chamber of commerce. We don't tell you how to run your business, but we give you the opportunity to communicate, coordinate, and cooperate with other groups across the state who do what you do. And when it suits your mutual interest and you can help each other, then by golly, you've got a way to do it. I know that when the Forsyth group split in half back in the summer, the Winston-Salem Forsyth group formed up out of the Forsyth group. There were people from here in C4GC that reached out and lent a hand. And they have become almost as effective as you are in 6 months. And how long has it taken you to get this far? 2 years or more, a year and a half or more. It's people helping people. Why? Because as I started out, people, you and I are just not that different. We're all alike and we're all in this together. And we can find reasons to build fences and put labels on people between us if we want to, but it's not very helpful. The openness that I see and feel in this room of welcoming new people is exactly the atmosphere we have to have. And there's a second reason for that. We know that in 2010, a lot of people got up off the couch that had never been involved in politics before, just like me. And we showed up and said, I've got to do something. I've got to find a way to help make a change. Folks, the people that are going to do that this time around require a much higher level of desperation and frustration to get them off the couch than we did. They're going to bring that desperation with them when they come. We have to challenge that, channel it into a very positive form of passion and energy, and not let it become the destructive tool to our organizations that it can be. So how do the leaders do that? My military background, everything was top down. You had a rank structure. The great thing about the grassroots is it's bottom up. Every person in this room has an equal voice into what happens. Every person has equal input. And as long as we respect that in our neighbor, what is the best thing it does when you acknowledge the credibility of your neighbor is it reinforces your own. Why are we all here? Are we all here selfishly fighting for our own rights? Yes and no. I don't think there is a person in this room that wouldn't look you in the eye and say, yes, but I'm fighting for his rights, and his rights and her rights and her rights, and the rights of kids yet unborn. Why? Because Reagan said we're only one generation away from tyranny. We can't save our children and grandchildren from fighting this battle. It is theirs, because if each generation does not fight for it to preserve our liberties, they will in fact vanish. Maybe slowly, maybe very fast. But we train them, and that is our goal, to train that next generation. We will fight what of the battle we can, but we have to position them to fight the same battle and hopefully make it very easy for them at the end. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever seen Susan Boyle's first audition that she made on Britain's Got Talent. My wife is sick of hearing it. I play it sometimes several times a day and listen to it because I've studied it. You know, here's a 47-year-old woman from a village in Scotland that had the gumption to get up on a big stage, grab a microphone in front of all those people, and even in the first 30 seconds on the stage, look at the puzzled looks on their faces. People rolling their eyes. Oh my God, what do we have here? Well, you know, there are a lot of people in the grassroots movement having Susan Boyle moments because that prejudice, that cynicism is what eats away at so many people. When we give that next person that walks in the door that open, fair chance, You don't know what skills they're bringing to your table. You're out there recruiting. You want them. Make them feel welcome. But give them the honest chance to say, look, this is what I can do. They may have the next bright idea. Come on in the house, sir. Better late than never. So I'm going to wrap it up. I will tell you point blank that the one other thing that I need to let you know, though, is that in my travels around the state, I'm finding that the groups that call themselves Tea Party are beginning to have an internal split, if you will. I'm glad that you call yourselves conservatives for Guilford County, that you're not technically Tea Party, and here's why. The Tea Party defines itself by the three basic principles of smaller government, lower taxes, and free markets. How many of you here know Mike Wagner, professor at UNCG? Most everybody here. Wrote a great book called Rational Individualism. If you haven't read it, I encourage you to get a copy and read it. It is one of the best explanations of why there is such a thing as a moral argument for capitalism and individual freedom, as opposed to socialism.
That's the hidden Democrat.
The reason I say that is because there's so many degrees of anything in the political spectrum, from the strong conservative to the liberal, and somewhere in between you kind of got the libertarian and the moderates. The Libertarian Party is fiscally conservative. They believe in lower taxes, smaller government, free markets, just like we do. Where we differ is on the social issues, because most of them are socially liberal. They're not social conservatives. I had my own representative, who ran on the Republican ticket, tell me that he supports the marriage amendment as a person, but not as a legislator. Because even though he believes that marriage should be between one man and one woman, government should have no role in say-so in it. Well, now, what good is it to believe something if you're not willing to stand up in public and take a stand on your own convictions? Well, I'm not...
They're letting the government enter in and telling them what kind of marriage they can have. So it's both sides of it.
That's true. I'm one of these, I carry my pocket Constitution, but it has the Declaration of Independence with it. I want to explain to you my take on this. Didn't really come to talk about me, but I think it's important that you understand my perspective, because it defines why I do what I do. In a political party, they have two documents. They have a platform that says what they stand for, and then they have a plan of organization that says how they're going to operate to make that platform matter. The United States is no different. We had a Declaration of Independence, and we lived almost a decade as a country without a constitution. What was it that guided our people in the meantime? It was those laws of nature's God on which our rights were based. It was the acknowledgement of the Creator from whom those rights derive. It tells me right there, I don't have to argue that point anymore. And I was born into this social contract. I can leave it, I can move to another country and renounce my citizenship if I don't like it. But you know, folks, I'm going to live here in the United States. That's the name of the game right there. The Libertarian group will cite the Constitution. The Constitution is the ultimate law of the land. Well, no, it's not. Because that plan is meant to make sure that those laws of nature's God remain the moral compass of this country. Now, I know people who are atheists, and I will tell you right quick, I don't know an atheist yet that inside doesn't have a firm grasp of right and wrong. It's not tied to religion, but they know it's that moral compass, and that's what we've lost as a country. And we're letting them steer us away from that by that label of religion. Even within my own church, if I sit in the pew on Sunday, I look to the left and I look to the right, I don't see a single person that's going to read that Bible and interpret it exactly the same way I do. But I do not get up and abandon the church because of it. I do not turn against my brother because of it. So there are things on which we will rightfully disagree. This is the glue that binds us together. I get criticized for saying I think we ought to keep the Pledge of Allegiance in the school system. They say, well, religion tells me I shouldn't swear allegiance to a flag. Well, to me personally, God said, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and to God that which is God's. I don't think he was talking just about tax dollars. I think he was talking about allegiance. Because what is our pledge of allegiance to that republic? Who is that republic? It's defined in the first three words, we the people. That's not what I'm pledging to. I'm not pledging to the people in Washington. I'm pledging to we the people, because that is our republic. And we are the people who control it. So I thank you for taking the time out of your lives to come out and participate and be a part of a group like this. Because this is where we change America. This is America. And I know that after meeting and talking to you in the end, we really aren't that different, you and I. So I thank you, and then if you have questions, I'll be happy to take them.